Humans have been looking for meaning in the stars for thousands of years. Those faraway lights in the night sky moved in predictable ways and had clear effects on our seasons, tides, and harvests. So it seemed plausible that they might control other aspects of our lives too. Nearly every ancient culture in the world created their own form of astrology, and people today still base their weddings or births based on lucky zodiac signs. The Greek historian Solon, who lived from 640 to 558 BC, wrote that astrological information was being recorded 9,000 years before he was born. And if what he wrote is true, people have been interested in astrology for over 11,000 years, possibly making astrology the oldest form of divination in the world. Astronomy is the study of the universe and its contents outside of the Earth's atmosphere. And astronomers examine the positions, motions, and properties of these celestial objects, whereas astrology and astrologers attempt to study how those positions, motions, and properties affect people and events on Earth. Early astronomers noticed that most groups of stars, or constellations, moved around the sky together. However, 5 of the largest and brightest stars seemed to travel independently. These stars were known as the Wanderers. The early astronomers believed that these wanderers were gods and named them Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. Astronomers know them as planets. Astrology ascribes meaning to the placements of the sun, moon, and the planets within 12 sections of the sky. These 12 sections are known as the zodiac. The etymological origin of zodiac comes from Old French, Latin, and Greek in the late 14th century, and literally means circle of little animals. Your zodiac sign is based on where the sun, moon, and planets were located on the date, time, and location of your birth. And horoscope charts are detailed pictures of the heavens at the date, time, and place where you were born. Astrologers gradually came to realize that the people who were born at a particular time of year when the sun, moon, and planets were in the same part of the sky had a great deal in common. Even though each person is unique, these people shared many of the same interests and feelings. Horoscopes provide information about what the planets are doing right now, what they will be doing in the future, and how this is likely to affect each sign. In that way, horoscopes can express complex ideas about one's personality, life cycle, and relationship patterns through the shorthand of the planet and the zodiac symbols. Astrology doesn't claim to predict the future. It is not a science, and there is no evidence that one's zodiac sign actually correlates to one's personality, or how one's day, month, or year will actually unfold. But the system does have its own sort of logic. I'm going to ask a few questions, so please give me a show of hands. Who believes in astrology and horoscopes? More than I expected, but still not that many. Who knows what their star sign is? Pretty much everyone. Who actively reads their horoscope on a regular basis? Kudos to you 5. And who reads their horoscopes only when you come across it to see if it does affect or relate to your day, month, or year? As you can see, we have created a paradox, a combination of contradictions. We know that astrology isn't scientific, and we know that our star signs are completely stereotyped and generalized, yet we still do place value on those faraway lights that add value to our lives. I'll be addressing this paradox by looking at astrology and the placebo and Barnum effects to enlighten you to a possible explanation of why people still believe in or look to astrology, despite its seeming lack of scientific backing. I have another question. Consider how you feel right now, at this very moment. Are you coping with life? Do you think that your perception of whether or not you are coping could be changed by the power of your own thoughts? Bookshelves, Facebook, and Instagram are filled with self-help, and you can change your life books, clips, and videos, all based on the power of thoughts and the relationship with your mind and body. Experts in many fields agree that there's a relationship between how strongly a person expects to have results and whether or not these results can or will occur. The stronger the feeling, the more likely it is that a person will experience positive effects. Medical practitioners or scientists call this the placebo effect. In medical terms, a placebo is anything that seems to be real medical treatment, but isn't. One of the most common theories is that the placebo effect is due to a person's expectations. If a person expects a pill to do something, then it is possible that the body's own chemistry will cause effects similar to what the medication might have caused. In the same way, your mind can be convinced by the information provided by your horoscope. Majority of those who read their horoscopes don't necessarily believe that it consciously affects the way they live their lives or make decisions, but they believe that subconsciously it does. The greater a person's belief in the accuracy of horoscopes, the more likely it is that they will experience what was stated in their horoscope. For example, if your weekly horoscope states that you'll meet the love of your life on the weekend, you're more likely to get dressed up, go out, and be open to new relationships, just in case you meet your perfect match. I've taken a look to see what this week's horoscopes has in store for us Scorpios. It seems you'll be living vicariously through someone else right now, with a dream that they are living that we want to live. Right now, I could say I'm living vicariously through Blake Lively, because who wouldn't want to be married to Ryan Reynolds? We may also have a chance to begin the journey that can lead us to having this dream for ourselves, and we should not hesitate to accept this challenge. Blake might be a challenge, but I'm pretty sure I can take her. We may also experience a social gathering that seems oddly somber, and as much fun as it is to conquer my fear of public speaking, I'd much rather be sitting on an island with not a worry in the world. And it's a definite yes to the part about stress at work because the stakes are high. And finally, this weekend is going to be thrilling if we say yes to attending a special event with special people. And I've got a weekend filled with special events and special people. What we have just done is known as the Barnum effect. The Barnum effect was named after the famous showman P.T. Barnum, who manipulated people by drawing on their belief that he understood their personality in some way. It is a phenomenon that occurs when individuals believe that personality descriptions apply specifically to them more so than to other people, despite the fact that the description is actually filled with information that can apply to anyone. Psychics, horoscopes, magicians, palm readers, and crystal ball gazers all make use of the Barnum effect when they convince people that their description of them is highly specialized and unique and could never apply to anyone else. Studies have shown that if you write a generic personality description and tell someone that it applies directly to them, they'll perceive it as accurate. So, science acknowledged, why do we still look for meaning in the stars? Part of it is that the belief in something makes it happen. For some, astrology predictions function like Dumbo's feather, a comforting magic to hold on to until you realize you could fly on your own all along. Astrology also gives people an excuse for their less than positive traits. Like, it's not my fault I can be that way, it's just because I'm a Scorpio. People often turn to astrology in times of stress, as it offers those in crisis the comfort of imagining a better future, a tangible reminder that this too shall pass. A combination of stress and uncertainty about the future is an ailment for which astrology can seem like the perfect balm. Astrology offers a number of things which people can find very desirable: information and assurance about the future, a way to be absolved of their current situation and future decisions, and a way to feel connected to the entire cosmos. In uncertain times, when religion, morals, and ethics are shattered so regularly that one hardly notices that they are gone, the astrologer holds out a vision of a world ruled by forces that operates with clockwork regularity. We take astrology very seriously, but we also don't necessarily believe in it, because it is a tool for self-reflection. It is not a religion or a science. It's just a way to look at the world and a way to think about things. It doesn't matter if astrology is real, it just matters if it's useful. Thank you.